Poplin with Thunder Breakdown.
What's up, everyone, and welcome into another streaming edition of Thunder Breakdown as we're coming to you live in the second quarter. A little over 6 minutes remaining, at least on my feed, 42 apiece between the Pacers and the Thunder. I think I've got my latency problems figured out a little bit because I stopped watching on my phone, so I won't be like 30 or 40 seconds behind you guys like I have been the last couple of nights that we've tried to do some of these. Welcome in, Raven Ray. My man Arch hanging out as well, rocking the orange Thunder jersey. And look at this, Jonathan Cooper hanging out from the desk while doing multitasking. My man is looking over his news script and watching the Thunder game at the same time. And did I also hear keeping an eye on the Royals game? Man, triple threat, Coop. Triple threat.
I always have to be looking in all directions. So I'm checking Twitter too, checking what people are saying about the Thunder game. So here I am.
Okay, all right. Well, I hope I'm not like blowing your cover or anything with anyone at work. Like, wait a minute, like Coop like isn't like just madly looking over his scripts like right before he gets set to go on set. He's over there watching the Royals game.
I know. I'm almost done with it though. But my main focus is on the Thunder for sure.
Okay, that's fair enough. Look at my man Joe, producer to the stars. You might know him from the 8 a.m. edition from Channel 6. What's going on, Joe? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, Jeremy. Thank you for inviting me to this hang. I just here to represent News on 6, you and the Thunder. Let's go.
You're here to represent me? Well, I appreciate that. I need all the rep I can get.
We all do. So that's what I'm here for.
There's no doubt. So let's kind of go around the room here for a second because this has been, I think it's safe to say, off of the start that we saw from Oklahoma City, the second quarter has been a disaster. When Shea went out, completely lost all rhythm on offense. They didn't have anyone that could score. The bench is getting their tails kicked right now. Last time we checked, it was 19-0 in favor of bench points for the Pacers. The Thunder have turned the ball over. You could just feel kind of the momentum and rhythm going in favor of Indiana. And it's continuing to get a little bit worse here with Indiana at the free throw line, now up 47-42 with 5:47 remaining. So, Raven, let's just start with you. Those non-Shea minutes, which we've talked about in the past, really ended up biting Oklahoma City tonight so far.
Well, and usually their bench is able to pick up right where he literally leaves the court off. But that just hasn't happened tonight. Like you said, 19 points now. That if Benedict Mathurin makes this free throw right here, which he does, that's 22 bench points for them so far. It's just a completely different team compared to the first quarter to the second quarter.
No doubt. Arch, with your favorite orange jersey on, this team has got to find a little bit of rhythm here before the end of the first half.
Agreed. I do like we did get some bench points. Isaiah Joe came in and nailed a couple of threes, so that's always a good sign. It's not out of control yet. I liked the first quarter. I am wearing, this is a Chet Holmgren jersey, but I can't get the numbers down here. We need more quarters like that Chet Holmgren quarter in the first quarter.
Yeah, 14 points for him on, I think, 4 or 5 shooting. Caruso's getting ready to check back in. Dort has hit 3 3-pointers so far here in the first half. He just had one swatted, though, on this end of the floor. Coop, I don't know to the extent of how much of a diehard that you've been all season long with the Thunder here as Chet in a shot clock violation now. But what's some of your takes so far here from your basketball brain?
I am a pretty big fan. I mean, I watch most games as well, but I mean, to me, the takeaway is the past in the first 2 games, when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was off the floor, the bench still was outscoring the Pacers by 9 points, and it's obviously not happening tonight. So when this first started, I was just thinking, wow, the Thunder are just so much more talented than the Pacers, but the Pacers have obviously proved the doubters wrong all season long, and looks like a different team in the second quarter.
There we
Joe,
go.
before we get your thoughts, Joe, just want to remind everyone that if you are watching on YouTube, we can read your chat. So yes, good citizen, we are reading the chats tonight. Is it streaming on the News 9 app? No, it's not. It's just on X and on the News 9 YouTube feed. So if anyone has any questions, we are here for you. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Central, for everyone that was saying hi. Joe, from your humble abode, what were your early portion thoughts to tonight's game?
No, Raven's absolutely right. Maturin came in, just he hasn't missed a shot I haven't seen. That you're gonna get that from the home crowd. You're gonna get that from being on the home floor. The Pacers are good. We are good. And we like this is excellent basketball happening. Look at Caruso just hit. I think my feed is a little behind you guys, but no, this is excellent. To think that Indianapolis and Oklahoma City are hosting an NBA Finals, we wouldn't have said that a few years ago. So no, I think I like our guys. This is all part of the learning process. Tonight is the game, though. This is the key to the whole series. Whoever wins tonight kind of has the control of the wheel.
Yeah, if you haven't really paid attention to Pacers basketball since about the Siakam deal, you've probably missed out on quite a bit. Yeah, I never thought that this was going to be a team that just gets rolled over by Oklahoma City. Are they better in every statistical and every metric? Of course they are. But that's not always what matters most. This team has had some unbelievable finishes, and when they get it going, like when Siakam's going early like he is tonight, when you get the additions of T.J. McConnell, for crying out loud. I mean, who would have thought it would be a T.J. McConnell game tonight? But so far, here we are. They're
he's
good.
A dog. He's a dog from Pittsburgh. But I'll tell you what, the Siakam, the Thunder, the power forward position has been a problem when we have to play Giannis, when we have to play LeBron. That's on Chet, and we gotta match Siakam somehow.
No doubt. Let's see here. To the chat, Matt says, "Go Thunder." Good citizen says, "Are we just having a chat on the Thunder games?" Well, that's kind of what we're doing. Just hanging out here this evening, just watching the Thunder game as they try to close out the first half here. 26-9 now is the Pacers points on the bench. I've got Mike Breen in my left ear while I'm chatting with you guys, trying to watch the game at the same time. If you have any questions, would love to hear from you. Ivan, thank you as well from checking in from Dallas, Texas, as we are here to run through the entire halftime show and also here through the end of the second quarter. It's a nice bucket there from Shea. 51-51 now. With a timeout, 3:26 left. It seems like that it's taken Shea a little bit longer to get going tonight. I thought we might try to see hyper-aggressive Shea kind of take this series by control here early in the first half, but Indiana's done a pretty decent job defensively on him so far.
Well, they've just been face guarding him this whole series.
Yeah. Nimhard's trying to send a message and playing him real hard.
You're also 20 seconds ahead of me. It just now went timeout on me.
Oh, okay.
I like it when the sneak peeks are positive, Jeremy. That's a really good. I like that.
Well, I'll stop doing the radio. The radio give you the score every 20 seconds.
It's still 51-49. We're down 2 in my clock on my TV.
I have on this really fun shirt today. I don't know if you guys can really see very much of it.
Oh yeah, that's the Nick Gallo shirt, isn't it?
Yes. There's Nick Gallo right here, and he's with all the dogs. It says, "If you can't bark with the dogs, stay off the court."
Yes.
And I told Nick that if I had a shirt, because we're pretty good friends, I told him if I had a shirt, I'd have him sign it, and I was gonna hang it up because he's a celebrity in my book, so I may have him sign his face.
Anytime that you have a company that's willing to create shirts for you and put you on them, and actually put them up for sale, and people buy them out, then yes, I put that in the minor regional celebrity category, and that's what I would put Nick as for sure.
They put the towels over Mark, and when they were going to the finals, and they were just pretending like he was Nick.
For the next hangout, I'm gonna need to get the little cardboard cutout. They made it. I actually have the shirt in the other room, the cardboard cutout of Nick, where you can make your own little Nick figure.
What?
Have you not seen this?
No.
Yes, I've seen this. Hey, I think we need to put a suggestion box that Nick Gallo deserves a car service up to Tulsa, and he could do a whole day with us, and
We
we could have some
this.
fun.
I think we
This
could
sounds
try to
like
make
an
that
excellent
happen.
idea.
Look, if there's anyone that's as big a celebrity as anyone that's on this screen right now, it's Coop. Coop, has anyone made a T-shirt with your face on it and tried to sell it so far with any sayings?
Thank goodness, no.
No?
That you know of.
That I know of. True, there could be out there, but to call me a celebrity is a very generous thing of you to say. But
I would rock a Jonathan Cooper shirt.
Well,
There's
I
no
appreciate
doubt.
that,
Yeah,
you know.
we would do that. But by the way, someone is giving Arch love in the chat for the. I like the jersey with the polo look and put the 2 fire emojis up to it.
Hey.
So
I come straight home from work with the thunder colored polo on, so that's what stays on.
yeah,
That's why I wore the orange tie today too. Though. I can't wear a jersey on TV. I guess I could, but that's why I'm rocking the orange tie.
They
and
want
the
us to
blue
wear a
suit.
Thunder, you might as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
True statement.
Hey, I would like to tell our audience that Matt Arch wears Thunder gear 24/7, 365. Yeah, you'll see him this on a random Wednesday. He's rocking Chet all the time.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
occasional, Josh Allen jersey too.
yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll throw that one in. Yep.
Brav in the chat wants to know, how do we think that Oklahoma City should stop the Pacers? Well, first things first, you got to stop turning the ball over. I mean, that's created so many extra opportunities for Indiana here in the first half. Indiana's got the 3-ball going a little bit now as well. Halliburton has been more aggressive, even though I will say, I wrote this down, Halliburton did not take his first shot until 6:06 remaining in the first quarter. I thought he might try to establish himself a little bit earlier, but Oklahoma City's just got to take care of the basketball and get back into their rhythm, and they're fine. They're okay. If we've learned anything from this playoff, this 2025 version, no lead is safe, even if it's 20. It doesn't matter who you are. You're still in the game, even if you're down 20 with the fourth quarter still to go.
And Shea didn't shoot his first shot so close to then, right? Too.
That's
as well.
right.
Yeah, the end of the first quarter. Hey, I just want to say this: all great champions have to go through the growing pains, the stuff. Jordan did it. Everyone has gone through it. This is we're watching it in real time right now.
Yeah, we are.
Also pretty cool considering that Indiana, for the most part, is considered like the basketball mecca of this country.
Indiana basketball.
And, you know, for them to almost be 25 years to the day since they last hosted their NBA final, kind of cool, and played into a little bit of the crowd tonight. And reading a lot of stuff from some of the Indiana fans, I think they took it as a challenge, seeing how loud the OKC is, that they really wanted to kind of set a tone here tonight with how they were going to react inside of the building. And Carlisle's been kind of amping that up a little bit as well. So they've definitely delivered so far.
There's about 6 former Pacers there in attendance, I think, tonight. And obviously the Fever are there, Caitlin Clark and them.
Aaliyah Boston was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I saw Reggie.
Raven and Arch, you guys have been in Oklahoma City recently for games. What talk about it? That
They're loud.
I mean, yeah, it's
They're extremely loud.
I love producer Joe. Like that was like Joe in your ear, be like, all right, yeah, I'll expand on that a little bit more.
the last time I saw the Thunder, it was a useless game against the Grizzlies because I wanted to see John Morant, and and Giddey played out, and we had a great time, me and my son. But like I haven't been there this year, and I know you guys have both been in the arena. Like I wish
It's gotten bigger and bigger every year that they were terrible that first year with SGA, and then the winning percentage went up and up and up, and the fans just started actually coming. I think the season ticket holders started to taking notice, like just in my own opinion, like with my mom, that's one of them, a season ticket holder now. Just the demand for tickets just this year in general compared to last year's playoff games have been insane. And what was it, Pop? You got on when tickets went on sale, and it was like you were in a waiting room, right?
Yeah, but I got in super late. When I got in, I was
still like it's
35,000
like
in line.
I don't know. I've never expected anything like that. And the fans are just so exciting. And I will say I've been there pregame, SGA signs everybody's stuff, everyone's stuff. And so before he was named MVP, he had a pretty big group of people that would show up, and then after he was named, it grew by like 6 times the amount. And like people, I mean, there's no way they're even going to be able to breathe his air with how many people are way up at the top waiting on a signature. But just the fact that they're there 2 hours before tip off just to see him before the game tips off is insane.
Special player, man. Special player. We're lucky to have him.
Man, I don't know about how you guys feel about things, but one thing that drives me insane about the NBA is we've waited all day for this game, right? We've waited days for this game to get here. And here we are with under a minute to go in the first half. And why the officials feel like that, we haven't had enough of us being a part of this game so far. I cannot stand the level of inconsistency when it comes to NBA officiating.
Yes.
At least game one, at least it was pretty even across the board. They let them be physical. I cannot get one good rhythm at all tonight with the officiating on how this one is going. It's like, man, what are we doing? Can we just be consistent a little bit?
There's
It's a roller
hard
coaster
fouls.
these days. Yeah.
There hasn't been any hard fouls, in my opinion. I want to talk about this just because I'm seeing Casey Wallace's shoes. You know how Shay's come out with the Converse shoes per series. What one is y'all's favorite out of them? If y'all know about them,
none of them. I don't think the Shea shoes are good looking.
I love the baby blues. I'm actually gonna buy some.
Oh yeah.
I think you can work them. I know you can work them.
The mossy blues for his brother.
I think I liked the OG gold so far the most, but what I really want, if Shay ever happens to see this, I would instantly buy a colorway that was like part orange, part blue, part white, kind of like, I don't know if he's gonna ever do that or not, but
probably not.
It seems like solid colors.
Because, Dub's got white, but he's got, he's got like purple in it, and
he did like a Pinky in the Brain variant or something, and he mixed it up.
I never thought we'd have a Pinky in the Brain reference.
Yeah, it looked good.
I like Casey Wallace's tonight as well. He's on the bench right now, but when you see it later on, those might be one of my favorite ones so far.
All right, we'll see if Shay has some magic here before the end of the first half.
This has been the TJ McConnell half.
TJ McConnell took it over, it seems like.
Yeah, no doubt. No, and I love moments like this because it'll instantly be referred to as like the TJ McConnell game, and this will be one of those things that it gets kind of referenced like 10 years from now. It's like, oh, remember when TJ McConnell like took over the first half in Game 3 of the NBA Finals? Wild to think about it. Just X factor players that you have no expectations for that end up performing incredibly well.
Thunder got a couple of them too.
They did. First half is officially in the books with the Pacers up 64-62. The Pacers have 40 points against the best defense in the NBA in the second quarter, and 30 of those come from the bench.
Jeez. That's brutal.
It's just one of those things, again, that you don't really expect too much at all. Coop, I know you got to get ready to run here for a bit in the news. What's some of your final thoughts here?
I mean, it's in the NBA, things can change very, very quickly. So the Thunder are still in it, which is great, and I'm expecting a big half from them. Right now, Shea is 5 for 12 from the field, so he can improve that obviously in the second half, and we'll see. Like I said earlier, the Thunder bench has been so good throughout these finals so far, and so I don't expect it to continue where the Pacers bench just completely outplays the Thunder, but we'll see. And I'm going to be focused on the news for the next hour, but at 10 o'clock, my focus will be back on the Thunder game.
Okay, well, make sure that you, I don't know, read the prompter correctly. You get everything in like you're supposed to.
We'll have Thunder highlights at 9
Okay,
o'clock.
yeah,
Told
that's
us
right.
about
We
it.
will. That's right. All right, Coop, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, of course. Also, I'll hang on for another 2 or 3 more minutes.
Okay, all right. Oh, looky here.
There it is.
Speaking of royalty, it is sports royalty and John Hulcom joining us here at halftime with the Pacers leading 64-60. Real quick, let me fit this in so I can say that we have done our due diligence.
Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is Halftime Hangout with Jeremie Poplin.
All right, so let's run down some stats real quick before we get some of John's thoughts. Just looking here, points off turnovers. Pacers have 13-5 for Oklahoma City. Fast break points. Finally, Indiana's been able to get a little bit of that transition game going. 14-8 against Oklahoma City. Points in the paint, even at 28 apiece. That's been a big advantage for Oklahoma City through the first 2 games. Second chance points, Indiana leads, and they lead in assists, steals, blocks, and Oklahoma City has turned the ball over more than the Pacers as well. So one of those first halves that you can expect from the team that's at home in front of an energized crowd for the first time in the finals. John, thoughts on the first half, my man?
When Dean and I recorded our pregame podcast earlier today, one of the names we brought up as role players that could have an impact, and they play better. Role players usually play better at home than they do on the road. Mathurin, and my gosh, has he done something in this first half? But the Thunder helping him out a little bit. It's not just that they had some turnovers, but they were backcourt turnovers, 2 or 3 of them. I mean, you're taking possessions away from yourself with just careless kind of stuff, and that's got to change. But I like what I've seen from Holmgren so far, from Lou Dort so far. It looks like Shea has started to find his rhythm a little bit offensively. But now that you've got the role players engaged, it's not just Mathurin, but McConnell too. That makes your job that much more difficult, especially on the road, because you get secondary and third kind of level scorers, then it just frees things up for the frontline guys like Siakam and Halliburton.
Yeah, I did notice a little bit earlier. It seemed like more of an emphasis to get Siakam going early, and they got him switched on a few of the smaller guys for Oklahoma City early. That seemed like that was a point of emphasis from Carlisle. Like, hey, we've got to try to find a way to get him going a little bit more. That was one of my big keys to this series the entire time was Siakam has to play to the level or better than Chet does. If Indiana wants to win, they got to knock down some outside shots. They did that. McConnell steps in there. Took a little while for Halliburton, but this is the version of Halliburton that we've seen through the course of the playoffs so far. Tonight, not the guy that's kind of been a little bit tentative at times of trying to get the offense going.
Yeah, much more aggressive from him and from Siakam. And then when the role players are starting to score like that and you get an open court opportunity, then, you have plays like Siakam trying to dunk it on Chet and Arch and Raven and everybody else coming down the lane. And he got fouled. He didn't dunk it, but because you don't let guys like that dunk in that thing. I mean, you wouldn't let him dunk, would you, Arch?
I would not. I don't want to get posterized, so no.
Mathurin's the leading scorer for the Pacers.
What?
Yeah,
He can shoot. He can shoot. He can shoot.
Siakam.
Oh man, I did not realize that.
This does bring out a funny moment, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, but I love when guys that are built like Chet and built like TJ McConnell like flex on people. Raven, haven't we talked about this before? But like if you're built like that, like I don't know. I expect someone that's built like, I don't know, like LeBron to like flex on people or whatever, but it's just funny when I see someone like TJ McConnell try to flex on the court. I'm like, oh yeah, you're in the league, but I don't know.
Well, we've talked about Chet doing it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you run the risk of looking more like a skinny arthropod when you do that.
Yes, you do. Andy off the chat asked a question, says, I wasn't sure how much the home court would help Indy tonight. I think it's been worth about 14 points so far. It's clearly been a factor. I mean, you could just feel it in those non-SGA moments when they were when they were thriving a little bit. By the way, Bob Myers has maybe the best hair of anyone that's on TV. That dude has a set of hair. The former Golden
lot
State
of
Warrior GM. Yeah, and a lot of it for sure.
He's got good poof.
He does. He does.
You know, Nemhard has not even had to make a splash in this game, and I thought he'd be a guy that would have to bring it a little bit, but instead, all he's got more fouls than, well, almost as many fouls as points. He's got 4 points.
Yeah.
John, that's important because he's a killer. I mean, he's been a pain in our side. So the fact that he's in foul trouble, I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
What do you
because,
think?
I mean, look, Matherin, I think, can sustain this through the second half. He's too good a scorer. Even though they don't really ask him to score a lot, they ask more defensively from him. But the guy you got to keep from making those sneaky good plays is McConnell. I mean, look, yes, the front line guy, sure. But McConnell, how many times you watch him play and they're showing him flexing again?
Yeah.
I mean, look, his flex is a little more impressive than Chet's, but still. He ends up at the rim under the basket scoring a layup when you think, how did he get there? You know,
Yeah.
there's too much of that.
What'd you think about the officiating in the first half, John?
I thought they tried to set a tone early by tightening it up a little bit. But I think over time, it's probably where it should be. I mean, because it's not that either team is in a desperation mode, but this is such a critical game. You know that everybody's ramped it up a little bit more. I mean, I didn't have necessarily a problem with the first foul on Shea less than a minute into the game. I mean, that's where you set the tone. The guys can adjust to that.
Yeah, that was a
As long as you
foul.
do it on both ends. Yeah.
That was a foul. You're gonna call that. I thought there was a little bit of a moment there with less than 2 minutes to go where it's like, okay, here are the refs that haven't necessarily been a big part of the storyline so far, kind of inserting themselves into this. Now they got the extender that's going to ref in Game 4, so then we'll really get some referee involvement in this series.
They're crew chiefs, and part of the title crew chief is chief. So I mean,
yes,
it's gonna happen.
I know. As long as it's not Boss or Haas, like we can keep going with the chief. Hey, Aaron Alexander has joined us.
Finally figured out how it works.
Aaron, I guess we figured out that I can only have 6 on at one time and not 8. That's probably why you couldn't get in. Coop drops out, so you drop in.
Is that an LSU hat? You have an LSU hat?
It's a Harding University hat. Go fight, win, Bisons.
You know what, Pop? You know what's wrong with Harding? There's no S on the end of Bisons. Bison, plural, is Bison.
There was back. Hey, if you ask a good old boy from Arkansas to spell Bison or what the plural of Bison is, he's gonna say Bisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna put a syllable in there too.
Hey, as a kid who went to the University of Bucknell basketball camp, it is University of Bucknell Bison. No S.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of smaller universities that still have Bisons in it.
Hey, by the way, I got to give a shout out. We have someone in the chat that's watching from Brazil. It says "Go OKC," so that's pretty awesome to have someone jump in from Brazil.
Nice.
Someone's over here from Enid as well. So shouts out to the Plainsmen. That's,
is it easier to get to Enid or Brazil?
Could you find a bigger juxtaposition, by the way, than Enid to Brazil? You probably couldn't. Probably couldn't at all. Aaron, we haven't heard your thoughts on the first half so far. What have you seen? What have you liked?
I think that you could tell that the Pacers are really into their pace of play. They're really playing fast at home. I think Tyrese Halliburton was a lot more aggressive, obviously, in Game 3 than he was in Game 2. But I think the star of the game so far for the Pacers has been T.J. McConnell and his hustle on defense and on offense. I think that he really turned the tables for the Pacers there in the second quarter. I think the Thunder, I mean, I don't think that you're really panicking. You know, I don't know if you've necessarily played your best half of basketball and you're only down a couple of possessions. So I don't think you're panicking just yet. And I think the Thunder, anytime they just have that defensive level that defensive switch that they can flip and can turn a game on its head really quick.
Yeah, I got some more numbers on the second quarter. So 40 points in 26 possessions for Indiana, which if you're doing the math is over 1.5 points per possession on 14 of 23 shooting with just one turnover to 6 for OKC. Then the Thunder outscored the Pacers by 5 points in the 20 minutes and 58 seconds that SGA was on the floor in the first half and got outscored by 9 points in the 3 minutes with him on the bench. So, again, non-SGA minutes. You'll probably hear that a lot from a number of people in this series. But, yeah, that second quarter reminds you a little bit of the second quarter of Game 2 in which Oklahoma City expanded that lead when Halliburton went out. Now, that lead grew by 20. The lead here is only 4, so it's they're fine. They're fine. They're in this still, and it proves my point from earlier today that I was making with Steve McGeehee, and it was very few times so far in this postseason has a defense been able to truly figure out Oklahoma City offensively. And I think it only goes in small stretches, and particularly tonight, that was just with SGA on the bench.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like a game that one of those road games where the Thunder have had problems making jump shots, and you want to boil that down. Well, that was SGA's start as much as anything else, because you look up and they're almost 50% from the field, and they're 6 of 10 from 3.
Yeah,
and they made all their free throws. So those are good signs if you tighten up the defense. And Aaron, we talked about McConnell. Can you flex like TJ McConnell? Not right now. No. There's someone in Brazil who really wants to see you flex right now.
That's right. Yeah. While you're at it, go read Aaron's story that he wrote today on the Rough for the U.S. Open, helping us out on the sports side on the digital stuff today. Go check out Aaron's story on that.
There we go.
Frazier in the chat says just Pacers bench points. Yes. As a matter of fact, Mathurin has outscored the entire Thunder bench 14-11 all by himself in the first half, despite him not playing at all in the first quarter. So how about that stat for you at halftime? That should tell you everything that you need to know right now about the first
automatic
half.
bucket every time he has the ball.
Feels that
Yeah,
way.
I think that Dagnall a little bit too there in that second quarter was maybe playing with a little bit of lineups. You saw some Kendrick Williams minutes in there. You saw some the other Jalen Williams, the Arkansas Jalen Williams.
Will.
Okay, yeah, I might be a fake fan. Which Jay Will is the Arkansas one?
Yes.
J Dub is the Santa Clara one.
Correct.
I always just call them the Arkansas one and the Santa Clara one, but
We'll work on that.
That works
We
too.
finally got John to say J Dub and J Will.
I'm too.
I'm
old to really
always scared
say
I'm going to
Feel
say
good
the
about it.
wrong one. I'm always scared I'm going to say the wrong one, but you kind of saw him playing around a little bit with lineups, trying to maybe mix and match a little bit. So I think a Thunder might have a little bit more of a tighter rotation in the second half. I think Isaiah Joe had a couple of big shots, and that's good to see if you're a Thunder fan too.
I do think a key for our bench would be they have TJ McConnell, and we have a little bald eagle named Alex Caruso that I think needs to maybe fly high this third quarter.
Arch. Arch.
That's a great
agree
nickname.
with you.
That's a great nickname, the Bald Eagle.
That's what I've called it. I don't remember where I heard that, but I always call him the bald eagle because
He said he didn't fly.
fly high. When he shoots those three, he flies high and makes those threes.
He
I'm in
definitely
awe
can't
of
fly
you right now,
high
Arch.
dunking, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no
Arch,
dunks.
you keep this up. Arch, you keep this up. You're going to have to flex before we let you out of this.
Arch, you just gave me a brilliant idea for a new T-shirt. I mean, it's a bald eagle in a Caruso jersey that has the headband on while he's shooting and flying high. Like,
After this is over, I think we need to make some calls because
yeah, I know.
And we got to put Nick Gallo on there.
Yeah, so we've got the Gallo shirt. We're going to have some Jonathan Cooper shirts, and now we're going to have our Caruso bald eagle shirt.
Yeah,
Papa, I've got the next Gallo T-shirt idea.
Okay.
I mean, aside from Caruso, the picture of him where he's draped in towels with a mic out, and the caption underneath says, "We have plenty of towels, thanks." You get that, Arch, don't you?
Yeah.
Shouts out to someone watching from Wisconsin, by the way. Appreciate you for tuning in.
I'll run the merch shop, newson6.com/merch.
All right, as we get set to start the third quarter here, let's kind of go around the horn. We'll start, again, I think my image is reversed, but let's just start with Aaron. Aaron, give me a key to the second half of the Thunder.
I'm going to say rebounding and limiting your turnovers. I think that there was 2 or 3 possessions where the Thunder literally just threw away their inbounds pass. So you got to tighten up the turnovers, and I think the biggest problem that they had down the stretch in game 1 was giving up offensive rebounds to the Pacers. So securing defensive rebounds, limiting live ball turnovers. I think the Thunder take care of business on the road in game 3.
John, you got sports wrapped up for 9 already? You got time to give me a key?
Sure. I got time. Don't let Halliburton loose. I know the bench has really hurt you, but this is prime position when you could take your focus off of him just enough for him to really make an impact in critical stretches in the second half, and that's when he comes to life anyway.
Joe?
I agree with John. I mean, don't give these Pacers life. We're going to need some key players to make baskets, whether it's Wiggins. Somebody's got to have to contribute in this third quarter to just null them, because we don't want to give them hope, and we just go from there. Hartenstein was in foul trouble. Hopefully he gets to play more in the second half.
Raven?
I really like the third quarter Thunder. So I feel like they are going to come out. As he made the layup, I think it's going to be a big dub third quarter, especially whenever they start bringing in some of the reserves, whenever they kind of highlight dub a lot. When Caruso or Wiggins comes in and Hartenstein. So I'm expecting a little bit of a dub thing, and they need to – I feel like Siakam's probably going to do a little damage as well. So maybe keep him a little contained.
Arch?
Raven took the words right out of my mouth as far as the third quarter dub. If we can get him going, I know I did my whole fly high – or bald eagle thing, but which that's a supplement to it. But if we get Dub has already started this third quarter very nice, so if we get him going, I think that'll get us back on track, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, that little shoulder move that Dub has to kind of create some separation. He was able to drive there and get some points. He looked a little hesitant to shoot to me in the first.
Yeah,
he started to drive a little bit there towards the end of the first half to create some stuff for himself. So off to a good start. Shea making his first bucket as well of the third quarter. Oklahoma City has reclaimed the lead here as we get set to say adios here for this version of this stream. I want to say thank you to everyone who was tuning in on the chat, asking questions, jumping in, all the way from Brazil and Wisconsin. And I can't leave Enid out, or excuse me, Garber. It's actually Garber. It's not Enid. He made sure to correct that.
Yeah, they go to Enid for supplies, Bob.
There is no doubt. There is no doubt.
Bulldogs, Garber Bulldogs.
That would be the equivalent of me back in the day, considering going to Broken Arrow as the big city. From us here in Coweta or Wagner, depending on which direction that we had to drive in that day. All right, and thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to all of you guys for jumping on as well. I'll be back for the post-game show. We'll take you live to the podium coming up as well. As soon as this one wraps up, we'll see what unfolds in the third quarter and fourth quarter. We could potentially be talking about a 2-1 lead. Remember, teams that win this game go on to win the series 80% of the time after a 1-1 start to a series. Thank you to everyone, and we'll see you next time here on another Halftime Hangout from our friends at News 9.
Good night, Rio.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma's own digital studio stream. Stay with News 9, online and on television, anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.